welcome to the Jack in the Box Sports Desk. Brandon Stone here, filling in for Rick Willis. It has been nearly 20 years since San Francisco and San Diego faced off in Miami in Super Bowl 29. If I had told you at the ripe age of 9 that the two would combine for just one Super Bowl appearance, not even a ring, but an appearance since then, no one would have believed me. But that's the way it went. So let's go out to the brand new Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Last time the Chargers were here, both teams could barely stand up due to the terrible turf. Now, one man doesn't seem to have a problem with that, though. Frank Gore making Brandon Flowers, Melvin Ingram, Eric Weddle all look like toy soldiers on the 52-yard touchdown romp. But the Bolts defense, well, they redeemed themselves on the very next drive. Marcus Gilchrist, what a season you're having, forcing the fumble, and Corey Legit is right on top of it. But their luck would run out quickly. Chris Watt carted off the field with an ankle injury, the 5th center to go down, and the perfectly healthy Phillip Rivers looking not so healthy. The floater easily picked by Parrish Kosh, and the ghost of Colin Kaepernick pass returns. The rollout toss going straight to Ellington, and it's 14-0. Things get worse right after this dance when Rivers is picked again, this time by Antoine Bethea, and he is off like a rocket. The Bolts in a 21-0 hole in the second quarter. But Rivers would finally get rolling, hitting Eddie Royal for this touchdown. Royal also catching his 50th ball of the year, which means $500,000 is in his next paycheck. But there's just enough time on the clock after this touchdown for Captain Cap to do business. Jet sweep to Bruce Ellington. Ingram gets exposed, Wright gets injured, and San Francisco gets a 28-7 lead at snack time. We return, and this one is a shootout. Rivers to Antonio Gates. That's a touchdown right there, falling in. And then Ricardo Matthews stripping Cap, and Legion's going to recover this one after it's knocked and poked out right in the end zone. 7-point game for exactly 1 minute. The aforementioned Kaepernick slicing the Chargers defense into tiny little pieces, escaping the pocket, not looking back. That is a 90-yard romp, a 90-yard run. Can you believe it? It gets worse as the game goes back and forth. Rivers picked off a 3rd time by Chris Culliver, but the Niners can't put the Bolts away. Rivers to Gates, 99th career touchdown. And on their final drive, they convert on 4th down once to Royal, and then convert on 4th down twice. This one to Dontrell Inman, who hadn't caught a ball all year, gets 7 tonight. And with 29 seconds to go, Rivers to Floyd, and they tie this one up at 35. We are going to overtime. San Fran gets the ball first in OT, but Eric Weddle punching this ball out of Quentin Patton's hand right before his knee is down. Chargers end up going down the field. Nick Novak from 40 yards out. Absolutely no doubt. Chargers win. Chargers still alive. Let us go to the Chargers board as they survive 38-35. A bad day combined with a good day for Rivers. Inman doing spectacular things off the bench, and the 21-point comeback tied for the best in Chargers history.
You obviously got to let it rip at that point. Pick a guy and let it go. And Eddie made a great diving catch, and Dontrell made a great catch too. The offensive line, we didn't have a sack, maybe one late that I kind of took. It was awesome, awesome team win.
All right, those waiting for the Bolts will receive the Eagles in Washington as an appetizer, maybe the kind you want to send back, though. All right, LaShawn McCoy fantasy owners, you had a good weekend on championship weekend. Deshaun Jackson fantasy owners, you had a good weekend on fantasy weekend. Darrell Young fantasy owners, I don't believe you exist, but you had a good one, too, if you did. 2 touchdowns for him. Guy Forbeth putting the Eagles' playoff hopes in peril with this game-winning field goal. Game-winning field goals everywhere today. Washington wins it, the final 27-24. All right, let's go to state bowl games. El Cap, the latter of 2 state bowl teams for the San Diego section. Capucci and company facing Campolindo for the Division III crown. Hope you didn't have to do business in Lakeside today. I'm pretty sure everybody was 2 hours up the road. Now let's get out to this game here after a Cougar touchdown. Sam Malero getting the beautiful pick. And then Bradley Cagle, he's going to go to Joey Get-to-La Chapa to tie it up. But that's the last we see of Cagle for the half. The man sprains his ankle, sprains it so bad, in fact, he can't even walk to the locker room at half. But suddenly, StubHub, you turn into MSG. Here comes Willis Reed. Cagle is back in it, hurt ankle and all, and he would find Frankie Lima for an incredible bobbing catch, 14-7 Vaqueros. Silver Pigskin finalist Isaiah Capucci blocking this kick, and Malero would grab it, runs it all the way back home, 21-7. Then on the handoff, Pucci, 13 yards, 28-7. Let's raise the state title banner. Not just yet. 21 unanswered points for Campolindo. And as El Cap charges down the field to win the big one, Tiger Garcia, heartbreak, punching the ball out. Adam Ramoto taking it all the way back. Then the final nail connects right after this painful moment. Another fumble here on the kick return. Campolindo just robbing one from El Cap. A great year. Doesn't end the way they wanted to. 35-28. Let's hear from him.
You know, he's obviously heartbroken what happened right there, but, you know, he made the plays to get us where we are. They made a good play on him. The ball got not stripped out. They picked the scoop and scored. That's what we teach our defense, too.
I did something to my ankle, and the trainers were questioning if I was going to be able to play it or not, and I wasn't going to let them take me out. I was going to play no matter what, what the pain was, and they just taped it up as much as they can, put an ankle brace on it, and I just said, screw it, I'm going to play. You know, the ball doesn't always bounce our way, but, you know, things happen, and we played hard to the end, and it didn't go out our favor, but, you know, I still love my team. We all love each other, and it didn't break us, I'll tell you that much.
What a great team that was this year. Now, in case you missed it, the Oceanside Pirates playing in the D1 game Friday night against Folsom. If you live along 78, you might want to turn down the sound here. Oceanside, well, they provided a glimmer of hope early. Matt Romero would scamper in the end zone here. But then quarterback Jake Browning would basically extinguish it. The Washington commit tying the national record for touchdowns in a season with 91. That is not a misprint, not a misspeak, 91. Now they had to run up the score on O-side to do it, meaning Coach Carroll, not a happy coach.
Number one, they're a phenomenal team. That's the best high school football team I've ever seen. So my hat's off to them. I thought they acted classlessly in running up the score at the very end. We were beat up. We were wounded. Several guys weren't able to play. And I just thought that was really classless on their part. But they are an outstanding football team. And I don't want my kids to remember this as their last memory. We had a phenomenal season.